In this section we need to talk about how we can make a business out of these applications. But before you do that, of course you need to understand the basics. Only if you have created a few of such chat flows successfully, and maybe you have also integrated some of these chat flows into your business, only then you can offer these as a service. You can offer these as applications. In the next video I want to show you exactly what applications you can sell. Basically you can sell everything, but a rec application embedded into a web page, these are the things that works best. And that's why I want to show you step by step how we can do this. First, we built a rec application that can also capture leads. Then we will make this chatbot as a standalone application, and you can basically send the link to people. And lastly, I want to show you how you can embed this chatbot also into a web page. It can be an HTML web page, but you can also integrate this into WordPress. And if you integrate this into web pages, you need to know, of course, how you can make specific branding, how the chatbot can look similar to the web page where you embed this chatbot in. And lastly, I want to make a big video how you can market these chatbots, how you can get customers for your chatbots, how you can price these things, how you can structure your offer, how you can give guarantees, and much more. So basically after this section you know how you can sell these applications. See you in the next video. Let's just talk briefly about what you can sell. So what automations you can sell, what things out from n8n you can sell. I want to tell you basically that you can sell nearly everything that you make. Nearly every automation can you eventually sell. Nearly every agent you can eventually sell. Nearly every rec application you can eventually sell. But nonetheless, I want to tell you what works best for me. The most important thing is that your application needs to be hosted. So please host it either over Render, over n8n, or over AWS, Google Cloud, Azure. It does not really matter, but it needs to be hosted, because if other people need to use your application, it will not work if you have it locally. It's still beyond me that I need to tell this all the time, but this will not work if you have this locally. Other people cannot access it. I get these questions all the time, so I need to address this really strongly and hard. You need to host it if other people want to use this. Basically, you can sell everything. You can also sell Telegram agents, you can sell WhatsApp agents, you can sell agents that have access to the Google products, to Gmails, to whatever. You can sell every single automation, but if you want to sell all of this, you also need access to these things. So your client need to give you access. And this is sometimes a little bit hard. A lot of people don't want to give you access. And that's why I want to tell you at least what works for me the best is integrating, let's just say, rec bots into websites as customer support with possible additional triggers. This is something that works really great for me. So I just simply build normal rec applications with a vector database that are trained on specific knowledge, and I include them in their specific web pages, most of the time WordPress or HTML. And these rec applications will be for customer support or something similar, and they can also have additional triggers, like for example Google Sheets or something. They can, for example, ask for contact numbers and extract this information and save it into Google Sheets. That's basically what works best for me, and that's basically also what we will build over the next video. And then we will also integrate it step by step into a website. Then we will also make the correct branding and so on, so that you really understand how we can do this step by step. A question that I got also all the time, the APIs, or basically the API keys. A lot of people assume that the client makes the API key. But I think this is not true. You as the developer should always have the API keys, and you simply, like I do it 3 or 4 times a year, you can simply tell the client that he needs to pay you 3 or 4 times a year for the API costs. Call it maintenance or whatever, but I have found out that nobody wants to make API keys for their own. Come on, your clients will be most likely no developers, so you need to do this, you need to make these API keys, you need to pay this upfront. But then you simply charge for maintenance, or you can also charge upfront. You can charge however you want. Later, of course, also more on pricing. So long story short, your application needs to be hosted. Basically, you can sell everything. What works, at least for me, the best are RAG application, maybe with additional tools integrated into websites that can maybe also capture leads. And the API keys, we have the API keys. See you in the next video as soon as we start building. In this video, we create a RAG application that we can also eventually sell. This will be somehow similar to a RAG application that we already built. We also want to start with a Google Drive trigger node so that we can update this thing really fast with Google Drive and insert our stuff in a Pinecone vector database, and then the RAG application can simply answer questions. This is especially important for businesses. Businesses have all the time a lot of Q&As. They need to answer the same questions over and over again, and the RAG application can help you with these. This RAG application will not only do customer support, but it will also capture leads. So if people give us their email addresses or phone numbers or whatever, we will simply make a Google Sheet and insert our leads so that we have updates all the time. So let's just start out. We are of course in the cloud hosted application from N8N. In my example here I am in the N8N cloud interface, but of course you could be on Render or wherever. Then you press create workflow. Then we press plus. What we want to have, of course, is right now Google Drive as the trigger node. So we simply press on Google Drive. On changes involving a specific folder is what we want to use here. You need to connect your Google Drive account. Of course, you know how to do this. If it's empty, go to your Google Drive console and simply connect the stuff. Then the mode is every minute. This is fine. At part-time is okay. Trigger on changes involving specific folder. This is also fine. Then we need, of course, a folder. Let's just make a new one. So I am in my Google Drive, new folder. Let's just call it RAG application. We press create. Now you can simply go into this file. Then we come back into N8N. We press here from list. What we want to search is, of course, the RAG application. So the RAG app. It's this thing here. Then watch for file created, because we want to create new files here in it. And what we want to do also right now is to simply upload here some data that we want to train our RAG application later on. And then we press fetch test event and see if this thing is working or not. For the purpose of this tutorial, I have simply made a company or an example company. It's the Gold Digger company. It's basically a goldsmith. And here we have a FAQ, so some general information like phone, email, the website and so on. What gold they have to work with, if they make rings and so on. This is basically just a Q&A. But this would be of course a standard Q&A that a lot of people would like to have included in the RAG application. What I am doing right now is that I make a text file. I call it Q&A Gold Digger. And in this Q&A Gold Digger, I simply insert this information so we can throw it in. And you can also make this in Markdown if you want to have here better information. But like once again, for the sake of this tutorial, I think this is completely fine. The LLM will understand this. So we can simply save this. We can close this down. And what I am doing right now is to insert this Gold Digger Q&A into my Google Drive folder, into the RAG application. Right now this thing is loaded up, so we can come back into N8N. We have here, of course, folder, RAG application, watch for file created. Then we can simply press fetch test event, and we should get, of course, our text file. So there you see it, the schema is text. And if you scroll down, you see that the original file name is the Q&A Gold Digger text file. So this thing worked completely fine. Our first step is okay. Now we press plus and we need to go on. But before we do this, let's just call this, let's just say Goldsmith to Pinecone. And now we press plus and we go on with the next notes. Once again, we use of course Google Drive. We want to have Google Drive. Download file. Google Drive account is created. Resources file, operation is download, and the file we want to have, the file of course from the list. Basically every time as soon as we insert something we want to download it. Or actually let's just say by ID, then we can come here on our schema, we scroll down until you find spaces, and under spaces you find the file ID, and we can simply throw in the ID right here, and now we press test step. And you will see that we can basically download this text file. There we have it. So basically right now we have our file. Now let's just go to Pinecone. We come to Pinecone, we log in, we go on with Google, create index. Let's just call it Goldsmith, but of course you have to write this small. The dimensions are fine, but please make sure to use the right embeddings. I always like the small embeddings from OpenAI, and the dimensions are fine, and then you can simply press create index. Now we are here, the index is created of course. API keys, create API key. Let's just call it Goldsmith, create key. We can copy this key. Of course, you can also use one of the other API keys that you have created, but let's just make a new one, assuming that you did not do this until now. Then we come back, of course, into an add-in and we press plus because we need to go on with Pinecone. So we want to have the Pinecone vector store, add documents to vector store. You need to connect your API key, so let's just create a new one. We simply insert our API key, press save, and then we are hopefully connected. If you did this until now, congratulations, you have not to do this. Operation mode is insert documents, of course. The Pinecone index we can choose from it. It's, of course, the Goldsmith. We want to have properties, we press on it, a Pinecone namespace. What I like to do is a Q&A. So the first thing is a Q&A. And right now we are done. We need to have, of course, the embeddings. I use once again the OpenAI embeddings. We use the OpenAI embeddings free small. You need to connect your OpenAI API key. You already know this. Then, of course, we need some documents. We use the default document loader. Type of data, you can also use binary because we have here a text file. Mode, load all input data. Data format is okay right here. Then what we need, of course, once again is to press plus. We want to have a character text splitter, and I think the recursive character text splitter is once again some of the best thing here. Chunk size, it's not a big file, so I think like 500 works great. And the overlap of just 20 is here also more than enough. This will be really accurate and also not too expensive because our file is not that big. So I think this thing should work right now. So what we want to do right now is to press save, of course, and we simply press test workflow and see if this thing is working or not. But I think this should work. Boom, there we have it. 7 items are added to our Pinecone vector database. If we come to Pinecone, go into databases, we have here the Goldsmith. Let's just click on it. You see, this connect thing is working right now. So I think we will get our 7 records like in no time whatsoever here. Boom, there we have it. We have our 7 files here. And if you go on namespaces, you see you have your Q&A namespace. This thing is right now really cool because what we want to do right now is to simply make this from inactive to active. We press got it, and then we can simply come here into Google Drive and upload new data, and the new data will get inserted into our Pinecone vector database. So every time, as soon as you get new information from your client, you can simply come to your Google Drive and upload this data. So let's just test this out. We want to upload once again a little bit more data. Or actually, let's just work with this data and do this later so that you can see that we previously will not get the answer and then we get the answer. So we have the first part of our workflow. Then we come back here to personal, of course. Then we press create workflow once again. And right now we need to build out our reg application. We press plus. We want to use an AI agent node with the chat trigger. So we use the AI agent node. It's the tool agent. Everything is fine. Then what we want to insert is, of course, a chat model. We use once again the OpenAI chat model. We want to have GPT-4 Omni, not the Mini, and also not 4.5, because I think right now the Omni model is a good model if we compare performance and price. We also want to have a little bit of memory, so let's just use a Windows buffer memory here. And maybe we can go on with like 12 chats so that this thing understands for a little bit what we are talking about. And then we need, of course, some tools. We want to have the, let's just see, vector store question answer tool. We give this a name. Let's just call it Goldsmith. We want to copy these because we also want to call this thing here GoldQ. It works a little bit better sometimes. Then you need to describe this. Gives answers related to the company Gold Digger. I think this works fine right now. And there we have it. Now we need to press plus once again because we want to have a vector store. It's of course our Pinecone vector store. You need to connect this with your API key, the operation mode, retrieve documents of course. Then you need to choose from list. We have of course the goldsmith here. We want to have of course the properties, so the Pinecone namespace. And the Pinecone namespace was of course this Q&A. So we can simply copy this Q&A. We come here back. The Pinecone namespace is the Q&A, and then this thing should work. Now we need to go on because we want to have here a chat model. We use the OpenAI chat model. Once again, not the mini model. Let's just use the Omni model, GPT-4 Omni. There we are connected, and lastly some embeddings. We use the OpenAI embeddings once again with the text embeddings free small, and we are connected. This thing should work right now. Let's just see if it works. So let's just make it here a little bit in this way. Yes. Before we add other tools, let's just see if this thing is working. Of course, we call it first of all Goldsmith Rec App. We press save. We press open chat. Now let's just say hey and see if we get an answer back. There we have it. Hello, how can I assist you today? My name is Arnie. And let's just see, if I ask what is my name, this thing should know that my name is Arnie. Boom, there we have it, because the Windows buffer memory knows my name. And if I ask now something from the Q&A, we should get an answer. Let's just open the Q&A. So this thing is the Q&A, and we ask something like, do you offer online orders? We copy these. We throw it in here and we send this out. And remember, we do not have any system prompt right now. And that's the problem. So we did not trigger this, and that's why we need to give a system prompt. So the Windows buffer memory works, but the vector database does not work. So we need to come to our AI agent, add options, system message, expression, make it big. And then we can give this thing a system prompt. Role, you are a friendly assistant for a goldsmith named Gold Digger. Yes, this is a really cool name. Task, you answer questions about the business. Details, you have access to various tools, which you use correctly. Tools, Goldsmith Q. Use this tool to answer questions with knowledge about the company. And basically, I tell this thing that it has more tools because we need to add some tools later. But first, let's just test this thing out right now if it is working or not. So we simply clear this chat, reset. And we ask right now something from the Q&A once again, and right now it should work. So do you offer online orders? Let's just copy these, throw it in here, and we send it out. And then you see that, of course, our vector database gets searched, and then we will get, of course, our answer. Yes, you can browse and purchase selected pieces from our online store app, and here we have the URL. And basically that's also the answer that we have here. Now let's just ask something else. What is the return policy? Let's just throw this in here, and also this thing should work right now. My text document says custom-made prices are non-refundable. And also here you see Gold Digger's return policy states that custom-made prices are not refundable. However, standard prices can be refunded within 14 days if they are unworn and in their original condition. And that's basically also the same answer that we get right here. And then I ask one last thing. Let's just say, do you have a email? And let's just see if we get the email back. The email would be, of course, this thing here. And there we have it. We have also here the email address. So you see the Q&A of our rec application works, of course, great. Before we go on with these, let's just hide this chat once again. I want to insert new data into our rec application. Now let's just ask something that we do not have any answer to. For example, open chat, we clear this, and we ask something where we do not have any information. Can you recommend a specific product if I have a wedding? For example, I sent this out. I don't think that we have any answers here for weddings. So there you see it. Basically, if you are looking for a specific product for your wedding, Gold Digger and so on, create them custom gold pieces, but no specific products. That's something that we want to change right now. In order to do that, I give ChatGPT once again here something. give me also a detailed product line with examples. Also include 5 examples for a wedding. And we send this out, and then we will retrain our rec application so that we have a little bit more. And there we have the Gold Digger product line overview, product line categories. You see we have some wedding collections and so on, engagement rings, necklace and pendants and so on. And we can simply train this thing here in it. So we can simply copy all of this. We do not need this information no longer. I create a new text file. Let's just call it product line. And then I insert this data. Of course, like this stuff, you don't have to include this. I just do this for the purpose of this tutorial. It would be optimal if you simply make this into Markdown, and I want to show you later how we can do this, but we want to make these videos a little bit faster so that you can go on with this course. Right now we have this information. You know already that we have this thing saved up. If we come here on personal, we have of course this Goldsmith to Pinecone, and this thing is of course active, so we can come on executions. Right now there is no execution that come through in the last few minutes. But if I come here right now into my Google Drive and I insert the product line, let's just see. As soon as this thing is uploaded, we should get in theory a new execution that will come here in 1 minute. So every minute this thing checks if something new gets added. So let's just see if this thing comes through or not. There you see it. Right now at this second it came through, and it also is here on succeeded. If you come back into the editor, you see nothing. You just find this on executions. And if you go into your Pinecone vector database, let's just see. Right now we have of course 18 records and no longer just 7. So this was updated, I think, correctly. We come back into NLN, we go on personal, we go on our rec application. It's this thing here. And in this thing we need to ask right now. So let's just see open chat. And we ask something about the product line. So let's just open this up and we ask something. So let's just ask, do you have something for wedding? Maybe a collection. And we send this out. Yes, Gold Digger has a beautiful, let's just make this actually a bit bigger, a beautiful wedding collection that includes custom engraved wedding bands. Let's just see if this is correct. There you see it, custom engraved wedding bands, personalized gold rings with names, dates and so on. And here you see it, personalized gold rings with names, dates and so on. The classic gold wedding band, elegant 14K yellow gold brands and so on. There you see it, classic gold wedding band with 13K yellow gold. So right now we can also ask examples for their product line. Let's just ask if we also have, for example, diamond pendant necklaces. Do you have something with diamonds actually? We will search our vector database, of course. Yes, we offer diamond pendant necklaces. That's basically the thing from here. So there you see it, our rec application works relatively good. But that's not everything that our rec application should do. This rec application should also gather leads. And I want to do this with Google Sheets. So let's just add Google Sheets here, the Google Sheets tool. Google Sheet account is connected. Tool description automatically. Resources. Sheet within a document. Operation is not get rows because we want to append rows. There we have it. Append row. The document and the sheets. Of course, we need to make something here. I just come to Google Sheets, create a new sheet. I call it Gold Digger Leads. Of course, you can use Airtable, you can use whatever you want if you do not want to work with the Google products. Let's just use here name, phone, email, and maybe also interested in. And there we have it. This thing should work right now. So we come back to our thing here. Operation is of course append row, like I told you. Document, let's just use the Gold Digger Leads. Then the sheets is of course this first thing. We want to map everything manually and we want to have the name, phone, email, and in what thing our client is interested, and we let the AI decide what these things are true. So basically, as soon as people give us the name, phone, email, and what they are interested in, We will simply have here all this information and we will get it in our Google Sheets. And so we can simply get our leads and maybe we can call them back if they are not sure or something like this. So we have this tool. Let's just make this a little bit clearer here so that this rec application is not lost. There we go. Right now we want to come to the AI agent node, of course. We make this big and we add a little bit more to this prompt. So under tools, I add the sheets. Use this tool to store contact information such as name, email, interested in, and phone number. After a customer asks about opening hours, products, or business information, ask them for their name, email, specific interests, and phone number. So this thing will be interactive. As soon as we start to chat with this thing, nothing will happen. But as soon as we start to ask about products, this thing will capture our leads for us and store them into Google Sheets. I think this should work right now relatively good. So let's just save it. And now let's just actually test this thing out. I want to start with hey, because a client could come and simply say, hey, hello, how can I assist you today? Are you looking for information about Gold Digger's products, services, or anything else? I am just here for info. My name is Arnie. Basically, this thing will tell us something back. Nice to meet you, Arnie. What specific information and so on. Let's just ask once again, what is my name? So that you can see that our Windows buffer memory is working. There you see it. And now let's just ask something specific. I want to buy a ring. Do you offer some? Then we will search the vector database, of course. We will get the answer from the Q&A. Yes, we offer a wide selection of rings at Gold Digger and so on. Feel free to ask. Let's just say, I think I will visit the store. What is the location? Great, Gold Digger is located at 123 Goldsmith Avenue and so on, basically this information. Could you please provide me with your name, email, specific interests and phone number? This way we can provide you with a better experience. So great, let's just say name Arnold, phone. Let's just type in some numbers. Mail Arnie, and Arnie, I am interested in gold rings. And now I send this out and hopefully our Google Sheets will get triggered. Boom, there we have it. And then if we come to this operation in Google Sheets, thank you Arnold and so on, if we come into Google Sheets, you see that our AI has extracted everything from our prompt. The name is Arnold, this is the phone, this is the email, and interested in gold rings. And if we come into our Google Sheets, boom, there we have it. We have our lead here with the interest, phone number, and email address. Let's just make it a little bit more complicated. Well, once again, a normal customer that comes through this rec application or to this chatbot. Hey, because people like to try out stuff. Hello, how can I assist you today? And so on. Is this a good company? Gold Digger is known as a premium goldsmith and so on. I think I like it. That's great and so on. Maybe I want to buy something. What do you offer? At Gold Digger we offer rings, necklace, bracelets and so on, and also some more specific information. I like necklaces. Can you provide me specific info about the gold that you are using and your location I want to visit? There is some information about the gold, of course. Then there's also the location. And lastly, could you provide me with mail and so on? So basically, let's just make a text that is a bit bigger so that the AI has it a bit harder to extract our information. So there is a text with a lot of typos and the information is not that clear. Great to hear that. I love my experience. I really like that you answer fast. My name is Igor Small. That's why I want to have a big ring that is crafted with my name, but actually the name should be in fat letters. So you see here, to extract the name, we need to think a little bit. My mail is this right here, and people like to call me at this number, so we do not write in phone number, because like a hard-coded tool will only extract this if there's phone number included. I would like to hear from you. So let's just send this out and see if the AI does a good job to extracting this information from this text, because this text is not that great structured. Let's just press on it and there we have it. It works perfectly. Igor Small, the phone, the email and the interest. Big ring crafted with name in fat letters. And if you come into your Google Sheets, you have it once again. Igor Small, the phone, the email, and also the interest. And there you have it. You have a really great rec application that can also capture some leads, and you can update the knowledge by simply drag and dropping new files into your Google Drive folder. This is an application that you can sell. But before you can sell such applications, of course, nobody will buy this thing from you. People will buy either a standalone application or, most likely in this example, a rec application that is embedded in a specific web page, and that's what we want to do over the next videos. We will simply make this rec application as a standalone application, and then we will embed it into a WordPress or HTML web page, and we will also need to use the right branding. So see you of course in the next video. In this video I want to show you how you can make a standalone application from your chat flow. This will be most likely not the workflow or not the application that you sell most of. The standalone applications, they can eventually work for some people, but most of the time they want to have this chatbot embedded in their web page. But nonetheless, let me show you how you can make a standalone application from these. The first thing and the most important thing that you need to do is press save, and then you make this from inactive to active. Only then you can chat with this workflow. So got it, this thing is right now active every time as soon as you want to chat with these. Now, because this is not embedded in WhatsApp or in Telegram or in whatever, you need to press here in order to chat with these. But this is of course not the interface that people like to use. The internet that people like to use, you get this interface from pressing here. And then make chat publicly available. You press on these, and then you can either have this as the standalone application, and this is basically this URL. You can press on these, you can go into a new chat, you can send this out, and then, yeah, come on, we have to save once again, so we come back, we save right now, and right now, as soon as this was public, I can reload this once again, so reload, and now we have our rec application. Hey there! Start a chat, we are here to help you 24/7. And then you have some starter messages here. So this is the basic interface. And here you can type in, hey, this is basically the same application as we used previously. Hello, how can I assist you today? This is of course our gold digger bot. And we can trigger of course everything that is included right here. So what you can do is eventually simply send this application, send this link to your client. And your client can simply use this link to give to his clients, so that people can simply chat with this chat flow over this standalone application. Before you can do that, of course, you need to make this a little bit better. So hey there is maybe not optimal. Start a chat. We are here to help 24/7. Maybe this is not optimal. If you come back and you press here, you see that you have a lot of options that you can make this a little bit better. So let's just take a closer look at all of them. The first option is this: host a chat and embed chat. I want to talk about the embed chat in the next video. This is most likely the most important thing, but right now we work with this hosted chat. So the hosted chat is basically this thing. So we leave it at hosted chat for this video. Then the authentication. Do you want to have any authentication before people can use this? You can use this if you want. You can use, for example, the basic authentication, any user authentication, or none. If you use none, everybody can use this chatbot. If you use this basic authentication method, you can press here, and then you can create, of course, new credentials, and you can give a username and a password. And only people that have this username and password can access your chatbot. Of course, you can also come down to sharing, and here you can type in with what users you want to share this, and here you also have some more details. But I do not like to use this, because I want that everybody has access to these chat applications. That's why we want to use none. Then you have the initial messages. Hey there, my name is Nathan, how can I help you today? That's basically this thing that you see here. This is of course not optimal for us. What I want to do is to have it all in one line, so I don't want to have 2 or 3 messages, and I want to start with something like this. Hey, I am Gold Digger Chatbot, here to help you, for example. And if we simply press save here and we reload this, you will see that this thing is changing right now. There we have it. Hey, I am Gold Digger Chatbot, here to help you. and you can simply type in whatever you want. And now we go on with these, because down here we have these options. And if you press on these options, you see that you can insert a lot of different things. Let's just start down here with title. If you press on it, you see we start with hey there. And that's basically also what we start here. But I think hey there is not correct to start. Let's just use, for example, Gold Digger Bot as the title. This is basically right now set. And if you press save, of course, once again, come back here and reload it, you see that we have the Gold Digger Bot here. Then we come back once again and we press on this once again because we want to have another subtitle. The subtitle is, of course, start a chat. We are here to help you 24/7. Yeah, maybe we can leave this. Let's just make it a bit shorter. Here to help 24/7. For example, save, reload, Gold Digger Bot here to help 24/7. Perfect. Now we come back. We press on it once again. Add fields. Require bottom click to start chat. If you press on these, you can toggle this on, and now I want to show you what happens if you toggle this on. If you reload this, you are basically here and people need to press new conversation in order to start with this chatbot. And if you use this, of course, you can also use the authentication method, and then basically people have to type in their information. Let's just go on, add another field. Start conversation bottom text. You can press on these, and here you can type in, for example, tell me, save, and if you reload this, you see that here's tell me, and you can simply press on it and then you are here. Add field, response mode, when last node finishes, or using respond to webhook node. You can use basically whatever you want. Then the next thing, load previous session. If you press on these, you can of course always load the previous session for memory or manually. I don't like to have this activated, so we simply leave it off. Then the input placeholder, type your question. You see basically that's this thing down here. And here you can type in whatever you want. What do you want to know about Gold Digger? Save, come back, reload. Tell me, we can press on it. And then you see Gold Digger Bot here to help 24/7. Hey, I am Gold Digger Chatbot here to help you. What do you want to know about Gold Digger? We come back, we press on it once again. We press on that field. Allowed file MIME types. If you press on these, here you can simply type in what you want to allow. And if you press on it once again, allow file uploads, you can press on it. And if this thing is activated, I want to show you how it looks right now. If you press tell me right now, you see that you cannot upload anything here. But if you toggle this on and press save, you can reload it. Tell me, you see that you have this thing here. Now people can upload stuff. Maybe they have, for example, data about gold or about whatever, and they wanted to know if you as the company can work with this gold. This is just an example. Basically, you allow people to upload stuff. And then the last node, add field, allowed origins. If you press on it, you can simply type in the origins that you allow. For example, only Europe, only the USA or whatever. If you are, for example, a local business and your local business is in New York, you will most likely don't give access to people that live overseas, for example. So you have a lot of options in order to make this chatbot like somehow customized to your client. And this is a nice standalone application, and also this application can be absolutely sold. So everything that you have to do is to simply share this URL with your clients. And if you make this chatbot for you or for your business, you can simply give other people access to this URL and they can chat with your chatbot for your business, for example. And that's basically how we can do this. In this video you have learned how you can make a standalone application from your Rec app. It's really easy. You can simply toggle your chatbot at active, press on this node, make it public, use hosted chat, and then you give your information here. And in the next video I want to show you the more exciting part, because we want to embed this into a web page. That's actually the stuff that most of the time gets sold. See you in the next one. And of course, also if you have a web page, you can also embed this chatbot in your web page. I hope you understand this. In this video I want to show you how we can integrate our chatbot in a web page. It can be, for example, an HTML web page, it can also be a WordPress web page. If you want to integrate this into WordPress, you simply need to install an add-on and then you can copy your code snippets. I want to show you this in a HTML web page. The first thing that you need to do is to simply make this active once again, make sure that it's active. Then you press on it and then you need to toggle once again this thing on, and as soon as this thing is toggled on, you press not on hosted chat, but you need the embed chat. And if you use the embed chat, you get here the documentation or the whole instructions. You can simply open this up in a new link and then you are here, and here you get everything that you need. And don't worry, like yes, there's some code, but this will be easier than you think. We will do this right now step by step. First, we need a web page. What I did right now is I simply asked ChatGPT for a HTML web page so that we can use it. So this is basically our HTML web page. We can simply copy this web page, and now I want to show you how you can test this out. You can go to replit.com and make a new REPL. You can simply press create a new REPL. I already have one, so I simply press on it. And here you can, for example, just insert your new code, and then you can test this website out. Normally, just for test purposes, this should be completely for free. So here on Replit, you can simply insert this and press run, and then you will see your web page on the right side. And there we are. This is right now, for example, our Gold Digger web page. Gold Digger Premium Goldsmith, about, service, products, contacts, and so on. Get in touch. This is a simple web page. If you do not want to use this web page, you can also do it with a text file on your local computer. If you are on your machine, you can simply create a new file, so new text file. You can give this a name, let's just say gold. What you want to do is to open this thing up and insert your code and then save it. And everything that you have to do right now is to rename it. So you can simply press on rename, and instead of .txt, it has to be called .html. And now you press OK, and you need to allow this, and then you have your web page. So if you press on these, you have your web page basically right now in your folder. So you can also absolutely do this right here. And if you want to edit your web page, you press on it, and then you can edit it with your text editor. So here you see all the code, and here you can work with this code, and then you can also basically see what changes here. But for now, let's just close this down. I want to show you this in Replit because I think it's a little bit easier to show you this way. So basically right now we have our web page. This is fine. It does not matter if you do this locally or in Replit. But what you want to do next is to come back into N8N. And here into N8N, like I showed you, make this public, embed chat, and you go onto your documentation. It's basically this thing here. And then you can scroll down, and here you see the CDN embed. Add the following code to your HTML page. So everything that you have to do with this code is to simply copy all of it, and then you can read. Open the webhook node and replace your production URL with the production URL. This is a URL that the chat widget will use to send requests to. So now let's just add this to our HTML page. We come here, we scroll down and we search for the body. It's down here. Basically, you can simply take a new line, insert your code. Now we press run and see what happens. You see that down here we have right now this chatbot. This chatbot right now is not working because we need to insert also this thing right here, your production webhook URL, and we need to insert it here. So we come back to N8N once again. This is our production URL. We can copy these. Then we come back here, because if you press on this here, you see that nothing happens. But let's just see what happens if you delete this thing here and insert your new thing. Then you press run. Actually, sometimes you have to reload this. Now you can press on it, and now you see that you can chat with your chatbot. If you type in hey and send it out, this thing will right now talk back to us. Hello, how can I assist you today? Are you interested in learning more about Gold Digger's business, products, or something else? Basically, this is completely perfect. And we can do a lot more with these. We can give specific branding and really make this nailed down to our customer. Before we do that, I want to show you something else. If you come back here to the documentation, if you scroll down, you see that you also can do this via NPM. You can import the CSS and create a chat. You can also do it in JavaScript if you want, and also React is working. So basically you have a lot of different options here, and you simply always need to give your webhook URL, of course. Then I want to show you some other options. These are the options that we will do right now. You can, of course, use different starter messages and a lot more, and if you scroll down, you also see that you have a lot of CSS variables here, and you can simply make your whole branding correct. Yes, this is a little bit of code, but I promise this will be easier than you think. But first, before we change the CSS variables, I want to change these messages, and I want to show you how we can do this. We can come back here, we scroll down to this options field, and then you see here the create chat and so on. Until down here, you can simply copy this whole code. So you can simply copy these. You can come back to your website. What you can do here is, of course, to delete some of your old lines. And if you look closely into this documentation, this thing starts with create chat, webhook URL, and so on. These are basically the last lines from here. Create chat, webhook URL, and so on. So what we do right now is we come back to our code. We delete this code here from the script, and we go up until here, until this create chat, and we simply delete this and insert our new code. So now this thing is inserted, and you also see here the webhook URL is right now once again empty. So you come back here into NAN, you copy this once again, you come back, and you insert this thing here once again, and we press run. The last line was of course script. I have forgotten these. So you can copy these also once again. I have deleted this without thinking twice. So you insert this and then you press run, reload it. Now our script is working again and we have this chatbot. And what you can do right now with this chatbot is you can change everything. The first things start here. Initial messages. Hi there, my name is Nathan. How can I assist you today? These are basically these two messages. And let's just say you only want to have one message, so you can delete this entire line. And you can simply throw in here what you want. Hi, I am Gold Digger, for example. Let's just run this. And there we are. Hi, I am Gold Digger. Then you can scroll down. The title. Hey there. I don't like to have here. Hey there. Let's just say Gold Digger bot. Here I want to have, for example, here to help you 24/7. Get started with new conversation is fine. And the type your question, this thing right here, let's just say, tell me. So we press run. And now you see that this thing looks a lot better. Gold Digger bot, here to help you 24/7. Hi, I am Gold Digger. Tell me. This thing looks good right now, at least at first glance. So I think this is fine. Let's just go on. Because if you come back and you scroll down, you see that you have a lot more options. Here you have the webhook URL options. It's string required true, and here's an example. You have the webhook configuration, you have the target, you have the mode, you have a lot more. What I want to show you is, for example, the mode. Because the type is right now window, I want to show you what happens if we make this to full screen. You can simply copy full screen, then we come back here. And if you come here, mode is right now Windows. Of course, you can simply delete this window and insert full screen. And I want to show you what happens right now. I make this a little bit bigger. We press run. Sometimes we have to reload. And now you see that our chatbot is down here as a full screen. So it's no longer a bubble that pops up. It's a full screen with this window. And here you can type in your questions. But most of the time people like window more. So you can simply copy this window, come back here, and insert also once again here window, press run, and then we have our old configurations back, of course. And there we are. But you see, you can do a lot more. And here you always have the whole documentation. Some of the coolest stuff comes down here, the CSS variables. In this style sheet you see that you can change everything. You can change all the colors. You can change the spacing. You can change the transition duration. You can change the width and height of your chat window. You can change background information. You can change whatever you want. Right now I want to show you how we can do this. If we come back here to our code, let's just make this a little bit bigger. And if we scroll up, if you come here to your body, as soon as we started to import these, you see this right here. Link href is this right here, and then we have this specific style sheet. What we want to do right now is to cut this. So you simply copy this line from here until here, and then you need to cut this line. So cut it. Then after body, this is the next thing that starts, this script type. If you press play right now with your chatbot, it is most likely broken. There we have it, your chatbot is gone. But as soon as you come up, then you need to go here between your title and between your style sheet of the web page. You take a new line and you insert this line of the chatbot. And then you press run once again, and then your chatbot will work once again. There we have it, the chatbot works once again, and now we can start to edit this chatbot. So we can basically come back, we scroll down to our CSS variables. You can copy this whole code because right now we can change the style. So you can copy this code, we come back to our code base, and in our code base we go right now on this line where style is included. We take once again a new line and include our whole style sheet. So this is right now the style sheet, and now you can press run once again, reload it, and then you have basically your chat application once again working with the default settings, but now you can change these default settings. So you can give all the specific settings that you want. First we have the colors, but let's actually just start here. Chat spacing, here you have 1 rem. Let's just see what happens if we go up to 10. What should happen is that we go up with this chat bubble, basically 10 pixels in this direction and 10 pixels in that direction, and we will be somewhere here, I assume. Let's just press run. And there we have it. But most likely you want to have this in the right lower corner, so let's just go back to 1. And there we have it. Then the chat border radius 0.25. If you press on it, you see that you have a small radius here. Let's just say you want to have this bigger. Let's just take this to 0.85. And we press run. If you make this big, you see that the radius is right now a lot bigger. And if you want to go up here like to crazy numbers, press run once again. You see that your chatbot is really round right now. Then the chat transition duration right now is 0.15 seconds. This basically means that it takes 0.15 seconds until this thing pops up. Let's just say you want to have this a lot smoother, a lot slower with 0.5 seconds. I want to show you how this is looking, so we basically reload this. And right now the transition is a lot slower but a lot smoother. I think this looks good, but of course this radius is way too big. I want to go down with these. But I also want to show you this. Chat window width and chat window height. Let's just say you want this 600 by 600 pixels so that this thing is a little bit broader. So we press run. Let's just open this up. Right now it's 600 times 600 pixels and it's of course less round. I think this looks also somehow good, but maybe it's too big for you. You can make this of course however you want. If you have a normal web page it would look something like this. I think the default settings were previously maybe also a little bit better. You can work with this until you find your sweet spot. I want to go down to 400 times 600, press run once again, and there we are. Then you have the chat header height. It's automatical. It's basically this here. You can also give pixel numbers if you want. Chat header padding, chat header background, chat header color. Let's just work with these numbers first. Chat heading font size. Right now we are at 2. Let's just make this a little bit bigger. Let's just go to 4 and double the font size. We press run. And there you see we have gigantic letters here. But this is actually stupid. 2 is more than enough. The chat subtitle line height, it's basically this thing, so you can also make this bigger or smaller. The chat text area height, basically this. You can also make it bigger or smaller. Let's just go, for example, to 500 pixels, do something really crazy, something stupid actually. And there we have, yeah, it's actually so big that we can no longer use it. It's really stupid, like I told you. Let's just go back to 50 pixels. Then you have the chat message font size, the message line height, the message pre-background, the chat toggle size. This is something that I want to show you. It's basically this thing down here. If you want to have this a bit bigger, let's just say you want to have this with 100 pixels and you press run. You see that this thing is right now of course a lot bigger so that people can see it faster. But most of the time this 64 is relatively fine. So what we want to do right now is of course to change the branding colors, because these branding colors, they make absolutely no sense. Something that I really love to do is, you can simply see here the colors that we can change, but if you scroll down to your web page, to your original web page, you have here the body, you have also the header, and the color of the header, basically it's this thing here. The color of the header is this, and you can copy these, and you can give this exact color, for example, to your chat bubble. And if you scroll up in your CSS, you can simply change this here. So let's just change chat color primary with our new color. We can include this, we can send this out. And now you see that our chat bubble has exactly the color from here. So you see the color matches perfectly with our style from here. And if you come with the mouse over it, it turns out to be red. It's perfect. Now let's just open this thing up and see what we want to change next. I think this chatbot is relatively fine. But what's not so great is of course this things here. I really don't like this thing here. This color is basically here, you can see it. Chat color dark. You can simply delete this, insert your new color and send it out. Let's just reload it actually. And then you see, boom, there we are. I think right now we have like good style, good branding here. So this thing works for us. And of course you can go on and on with this brandings however you want. You can make this bigger, you can make it smaller, you can use different colors. And if you ever have any problems with these, you can simply copy this code block. You can come back to ChatGPT. You would close this down for example. And then you tell ChatGPT, I have this CSS, but I do not understand what colors I need to change in order to change the background of my chat, for example. And then you send it out and ChatGPT will simply explain you by normal words what things you can use here. So chat color light, this is basically this color. This might be the main background color. A lighter version possibly used for sections. Another possible background variation. So you see, ChatGPT can basically explain you all of this. And maybe you ask yourself, why right now is this thing included? Hey there, start a chat and so on. That's basically just because I have deleted my old settings down here. So basically I have accidentally deleted this thing here. Of course, we had previously not hey there, we had a little bit smaller words. We had just, I think, I am Gold Digger here, the title, Gold Digger chat, subtitle, here to help you 24/7, type your question was, tell me, I think. I have accidentally deleted this, but I hope you get it, how you can fix this stuff. And right now I do think that we have a really good and nice chatbot. This is perfectly branded right now. This thing is a little bit too big for me once again. The last thing that I want to change is to actually make this thing a little bit smaller. The chat toggle size 64 was great. And boom, there we have it. Right now we have a perfect chatbot and you know exactly how you can change everything and how you can get the right branding. If you have ever any questions about this code base, please do the right thing here. Go on, copy all of this code, throw it into ChatGPT and ask in a normal conversation what you need to do in order to change a specific thing. Just throw it in, tell ChatGPT you want to change from the chat bubble, for example, the color of this thing here. And ChatGPT will tell you. It's really that easy. ChatGPT can help you with this code. It's really that easy. And by the way, if you copy this code, insert it into ChatGPT and you have problems to telling ChatGPT exactly what you want to change in your web page, please just make a screenshot of this web page and then ChatGPT will understand what you are building. ChatGPT can see what's on your web page and then he will have actually a lot more context and will be a lot more helpful. It's easier. So please remember you can also upload screenshots into ChatGPT. Congratulations, now you know how you can use the right branding for your application. It's easy. You come to N8N, you make it active, you press on here, you make it also here public, you use the embedded chat, you open up the documentation, you copy this, throw it in the body of your HTML web page, then you can add these options. You delete, of course, the previous create chat, insert the URL once again here, and here you can type in what you want to change. And lastly, you can copy all of this, insert it here under your normal style sheet, but first you need to make sure that you give also here the right previous style sheet. And then you are ready, you can change whatever you want. Congratulations, now you know how you can make perfect branding for your chat application. This is basically chatbots that you can sell really great. If people want to have something included in their webpage and you can match their branding, this is of course a gigantic plus point. See you of course in the next video, because in the next video we need to talk how you get clients, how you can sell this, how you can price these chatbots and a lot more. Because right now you know exactly how you can build these applications and how you can integrate these applications. And of course you also know how you can match the style of your own webpage if you want to include it in your webpage. You know how to build these applications, you know how to embed them into web pages, so let's just talk about selling them. Generally speaking, you have to do a lot of things in order to make a business out of these. So let's just talk about selling AI agents. You need to find the right customer. This is of course the first thing that you need to do. Then you need to have a good product. And I would say you should create an agent, or at least a prototype of an agent specifically for your customer, and show them how these things are working. Then you need to make a good offer. Then you need to make a little bit of marketing and sales. And then you need some tips. So for example, you should include a bonus, a guarantee, and you need to choose the right price. And we will cover every single thing in this video. So let's just start with finding the right customer. Generally speaking, for finding customers, you have 4 different ways. You can ask everyone you know. You can ask anyone that you don't know, so cold calling, let's just say also mails, text, and so on. So you simply talk to people that you do not know. And you can also create content. This is something in between. So this is people that know you and also people that don't know you. And lastly, you can also do paid advertising. But in order to do that, you need to understand LTV divided by CAC. And if you right now don't know what LTV divided by CAC is, you should not do this. This means lifetime value and customer acquisition cost. And in an optimal way, you should have lifetime value a lot higher than customer acquisition cost. And like I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about right now and you want to start out with these things, please don't do paid ads. Just start with one of these 3 things here. And we want to start with this right here because this is the easiest one. Ask everyone you know. Please. You can use your phone, you can use your emails, you can use your social media. Just make a list about everybody that you know. Pull up your Instagram, pull up your Facebook, pull up your contact list, pull up all your mails from your mail accounts, make a gigantic list and ask anybody if they need a chatbot. First of all, it's maybe a little bit strange and odd if you simply write messages to people that you have like never written before or just written a few times because you know them for somewhere. So you need to have a strong opening. Just open normally, just like a normal person. If you want to write somebody on Instagram, just check their profile. Maybe you see that, let's just say Susan was hiking, and say something nice about her. Hey Susan, I saw you was hiking. How was it? Maybe Susan will respond because she knows you. And she will tell you, hey yeah, it's nice to hike a little bit and so on. And then you go on. You have a gym and you go hiking. It must be hard to do all of this. And Susie will most likely tell you, yes, yeah, I don't have that much time to hike. I just go like once a month and so on. And then you can ask, wouldn't it be nice to have more time for hiking because like AI can generate some leads for your gym? And of course, if you sell her something for your social media agency and so on, you need to make this however this is perfect for her. And then she will tell you if it's good or not, and if she's in it, you can go on. And if she tells you to go off, then you need to go to the next one. But this is generally how you can start to talk to these people. Make them a compliment, ask them if it would be helping to have an AI that gets some leads, that does customer support and so on. And if they tell you no, just ask maybe if they know somebody. Maybe they know somebody where such a chatbot can help. This is a basic script that you can use in order to talk to people that you know. And of course, the goal is to ask everybody that you know. So go to all of your contacts and write every single one of them and ask them if they have time for a Zoom call. And in the Zoom call, you show them exactly what this chatbot is doing, and you show them like ideally a chatbot that is specifically tailored to them. If Susie has a social media agency, show them how this should work for a social media agency. Just build a chatbot and show it. I will come back to selling and so on in more detail later in the video, but now let's just go on with cold calling, mails, texts and so on to people that you do not know. Because this is a little bit harder because you have to find these people. So finding the right customer. You can simply Google your potential customer, then you need to see what they are doing exactly, and then you should create a bot to show them live how the bot is helping them. For example, you want to sell chatbots to gyms because we have a gym bot right now. You would simply Google gyms in San Francisco. Then you would search for all the gyms and you can simply press on one of these gyms. This is just an example. And you would go, of course, onto their website. This is a gym in San Francisco, and I think a chatbot down here in the corner would look absolutely nice. So you would simply ask them if they have time. Maybe you can sell them such a chatbot. And if you want to do this really good, you should simply look at this webpage, for example, when this gym is open. And you can train a chatbot on this data. And you should also train a chatbot on all of this data. So what equipment they are having. I saw here like a Leica equipment and so on. You just go on about and you search all the stuff what is cool in this gym. So what equipment they are using and much more. And you know it. Like if you want to sell these chatbots to social media agencies, you do the same thing. You go on their webpage, you use some of these things. You create a chatbot, you ask them if they want to have a call, and if they say yes, you train a chatbot on this data and then you can show them live. As soon as they come into a Zoom call, you show them, hey look, you could have this chatbot, and this chatbot is specifically trained on your data. So here is, for example, one starter prompt that would ask, when is this gym open? And it would simply tell this thing right here where it was, that the gym is open Monday to Friday 5 AM to 10 PM, Saturday 5 AM to 5 PM and Sunday 6 AM to 2 PM. So this is really perfect. And then you can also train the chatbot where this gym is exactly. So you would use this right here and you would train it on the equipment and so on, and you would simply show the owner that this chatbot knows everything, and you can tell him, hey, wouldn't it be cool if this was your webpage? So this is your webpage. People that come to your webpage can come to this chatbot and ask questions about your gym. And of course, it would also tell your client that this chatbot can also generate leads and save them into Google Sheets. You would simply make an example. You open the chat, you type in some messages, and sooner or later you get asked about your contact information. And then you tell your future customer, of course, that they have to do nothing and will get these leads in a Google Sheet. So I think this is a really good offer. So if you find your clients through cold audience, you should do this. You should simply Google your client, then see exactly what they are doing. So go on their webpage. Then you need to ask them if they have time for a call. If they say yes, you train the chatbot and then you show them live how this chatbot will help them. I need to stress this. You need to show this live. And then as soon as you want to sell this chatbot, you need to explain them exactly. Just ask them. How long does customer support take for you and how much leads you get? Maybe the guy tells you, hey, I do 2 hours a day for customer support and also 1 hour reaching out to strangers to get more customers, so I do 3 hours a day. And you tell them, wouldn't it be nice if you can save 2 hours every day because this chatbot will do a little bit of customer support and will get you some leads? And most likely the guy tells you yes. And then you ask them how much you make an hour. And people normally lie. They say a lot of things if we ask them about money. And he would maybe immediately say, I make $100 an hour. And then you tell them, so this chatbot can save you 2 hours every day. This is $200 a day. These are $6,000 a month. $60,000 a year, or 64,000, or however you want to calculate this. So this is really something that can save you a lot of money. And you don't drop the price yet, we just set a high anchor. This is a really nice tactic. And that's basically how you can make cold calling, cold mails and cold texts work with people that don't know you. You need to know what they are doing, just search for their website. As soon as they tell you, hey, I want to have this call, just please do the same thing as with this first client. So first make them a compliment and so on. As soon as they want to come in a call, train this chatbot and show them exactly how this thing will save them money. The next thing is creating content. And creating content is underrated. Creating content like this course brings you leads. A lot of people come in this course and maybe they want to have a chatbot, but they think it's too hard to build this for themselves. I am relatively sure that they will hit me up if I can help them build a chatbot. This is how this works. And for you, it would be perfect if you do something similar. Make content, for example, on YouTube, how you can make these chatbots. I also do this on YouTube, and especially on YouTube it works well, because in a YouTube video, you can't explain every single thing that precise. So you make a YouTube video that goes 10 minutes, 15 minutes and so on. And you simply make a chatbot in no time whatsoever, and you tell them how this chatbot helps. And most of the time, people have interest and they will hit you up if you can help them create such a chatbot. But with content, you need to do a lot. You need to make a lot of videos. And nearly every time as I am making a video about such chatbots right now, people hit me up and ask, hey, can you help me make such a chatbot? It really works that way. Even if you tell all the secrets in your YouTube video, like people will ask you for help to creating this chatbot. And the last thing is paid advertising. And like I said, I would really strongly recommend you to starting out with these. As soon as you have money made with all of these, you can also start paid advertising. And paid advertising is relatively similar to content, and paid ads also work better if you make content, because people see an ad, then go on your social media. And if they see, hey, this guy makes also content about this theme, they are most likely more willing to buy. So this is absolutely the last thing that you do. And if you need more information about this, you can hit me up. But right now, please just focus on the first three. Start with these, so everybody that you know. Then you can do cold calling and so on, and also create some content. And this you can and should to do this together. One of the most important things, at least for me, is this right here. Please create the chatbot and then show them live how the chatbot will help them. As soon as people come from either one of these strategies, so everybody that knows you, people that don't know you, or people from content, you need to make this clear. You need to stress this out. Just please make a call with them, a Zoom call or something like that, and show them exactly how the bot is working on their own data. Please create this chatbot. As soon as people come into your call, first of all, you should ask them why you are here. Maybe they tell you because you told me that I should be here, but then you need to stress this out once again. Yes, I have told you, but you have a problem. You have told me that you don't have a lot of time, is this right? And maybe they tell you, yes, I don't have a lot of time and I want to save time. Now they have acknowledged that they have a problem and you are here to help them. And then you can tell, yes, this is why you are here. I have a chatbot that can help you. Let me show you. This is the most important thing. They need to see for themselves that they have a problem. They need to see that they don't have enough time to do customer support and they don't get enough leads. And you are the guy that can help them, and you show them exactly how you can help them. You show them how you can save them time, and you also calculate them how much money you will save them. If they tell you I make $50 an hour, I make $100 an hour, you can tell them 2 hours every day times $100, $200 a day, or $100 a day times 30 days in the month, it's $3,000 or $6,000 a month, times 12 months a year is $30,000 or $60,000 a year. This is how much this chatbot can save you. And as soon as the person understands that they have a problem, they don't have enough time, that you are here and you can help them with this chatbot, and you showed them live that the chatbot is working, they will most likely be interested. And then they will most likely ask for the price. So let's just talk about price. What's the price of an AI agent? Generally speaking, this depends. Something between $900 and $2,000, these things are working. It obviously depends on the industry where you are in. Gyms don't have a lot of money, generally speaking. You can sell them maybe for $1,000, and you can also go up until $2,000 if you are good on the things that you are doing. But as soon as you start out, I would really strongly recommend you to start a little bit cheaper. $600 to $1,900 is perfect. Just start with 600 if this is your first chatbot. If you do this for a long time, and if you know exactly what you are doing, and if you have a lot of clients, if there is more demand than supply, you can go up to infinity, you can go up to 2,000 and even beyond. Like, there is no limit. If you don't have enough time to do your stuff, just go up with your price. But start out with 600, then it depends of course on the niche. If you are, for example, an expert in real estate and you sell these AI agents to real estate people, you can start with 1,000, 2,000, however you want, because they have the money. This is the nice thing. If you serve customers with a lot of money, you can go up with this price. Real estate agents, they will tell you like, I make $300 an hour or something like that. And then you can also go up in price like a lot normally. But I think like 600 is perfect for starting, and then go up to 1,000. And the more customers you have, you can go up and up and up. And I think something between 900 and 2,000, this is most of the time the sweet spot. And you need to justify your price. So if you say, for example, this chatbot costs you $1,000, let's just say this chatbot costs you $1,000, and then you tell them immediately how cheap this is. Because people have told you every day 2 hours of their time, they are worth $100 an hour. This is $200 a day. 6,000 a month, and in the year it's 40,000 to 64,000. It depends on how many days they are working. So they save a year $30,000 to $64,000 with an investment of just $1,000. This is a complete steal if you present it like this. And this is also true for some people. These chatbots, they can really generate leads on autopilot, and they can also do a little bit of customer support. These people will get less questions about the stuff that they don't want to answer because it's obvious. Maybe they are not sure. You come with this bonus and guarantee. This is now the gold nugget. So create the bot exactly as the customer wants, of course. Like you tell them, this is just an example. We can make this bot however we want. We can train this bot with direct technology. Don't use any technical stuff. Just say to them, we can train this bot on every knowledge that you want, and I will do this immediately. So please tell them, we can create this bot however you want. Then the next bonus. Customer support. You help them with problems. You are here the entire time to help them out if they have problems with your chatbot, and you send them the leads every other week, for example. And this is one of the strongest guarantees, 2-week money back guarantee. This is a no-brainer. You tell them, hey, I make this chatbot, you can try this out for free for 2 weeks, and you only pay me if you like the bot. This is here really, really strong, because more people will buy, even if some people want to have their money back. I want to tell you some stats. This is from the software industry in general, and is also like somehow how I see it with my clients. If we offer them a 2-week money back guarantee, roughly 30% more are buying. The studies say 15 to 40%, but I personally see like roughly 30% more are willing to buy, are willing to take our offer if we give this 2 weeks completely for free and only charge them if they like it. And now comes the cool part. Only 3% want to give you this chatbot back. Only 3% do not want to buy after these 2 weeks. Only 3% say, hey, give me my money back. So let's just do the math. If you sell 100 chatbots with $1,000, this equals $100,000 in revenue. Then, if you use this money back guarantee, you sell 30% more. This means 130 chatbots, so $130,000 in profit. And if 3% use the money back guarantee, you lose $4,000, because 3% of 130 should be roughly 4 people. Let's just do the math exactly, because I just did it in my head. 130 divided by 100 times 3. 3.9 people, so let's just say 4 people. So you lose $4,000, but at the end of the day you have $126,000 in revenue instead of the $100,000 in revenue, because 30% more people are buying and just 3% want their money back. This means that you need to sell 33 chatbots until somebody wants their money back, so you are ready to rock. This is here the cool thing about guarantee. So tell them, I can train this chatbot however you want. This chatbot will behave how you want it to behave. You will give them customer support. So you are here to help them with this chatbot, and you will send them the leads. They don't have to do anything for themselves. Then the 2-week money back guarantee. This is the strongest point. 30% more people will buy. This makes mathematical sense. You will sell more even if some people want to have their money back. And then some more tips, because we have a lot of tips. Like I said, this is the most important tips of them all. Create the chatbot before you sell it and demonstrate it live. Ask these people if they want to come in a call, and if they say yes, start to create this chatbot. Just take this time, create this chatbot, train it on their data, and they are stunned. Show exactly how the agent can save time and money. Make the calculation. Ask them how much time they need for customer support and for creating leads. Then ask them how much they make an hour, and then make the calculation how much money they save, because this chatbot can save 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. You need to try this. Then set a high price anchor. If asked for a discount, offer to cover 3 to 5 months of API costs. So first of all, ask a high anchor. So you can absolutely start here with a higher end. Let's just say you start with your first chatbot at 900. If people want to have a better deal, eventually you can go down to 600, but start with a high anchor. This is important. This is just psychology. And don't go immediately down with this price. Try it first this way. Just tell them that you are covering the API cost for 3 to 5 months, for example. The API costs will most likely not be that high in the first months. So just tell them, hey, I am willing to cover the API costs. Of course, you need to explain them that sooner or later they have to pay for the API cost. But just tell them as soon as the spot is working. And as soon as you have done all of this, this is now the most important stuff. Repeat the process until you are bored. Until you can do it in your sleep, and then don't stop. As soon as you begin, you will suck, and you will suck less if you do more. Just do it until you are bored, until you can do it in your sleep, and don't stop. You will sell such chatbots, and as soon as you know how to do this, this is really important. Don't just reach out to 1 customer a day. Reach out to 100. You need to do more if you want to get better. A lot of people will tell you that they don't need a chatbot, but you can't stop. Make content, make reach outs to people that you know, make reach outs to people that you don't know, and don't just do 1 or 2 reach outs a day. I need to stress this out. Do 50 a day, do 100 a day. For quick math, like most of the people, they will not respond. Maybe 20 to 30 people will respond if you write them a mail. Then from these 30 people, maybe 10 are interested. With 10 you can talk. So you can go in a call with 10 of these, and maybe 1 or 2 say to you, hey, this is cool for me. So you have to do 100 reach outs to sell 1 or 2 chatbots. This depends, of course. With more skill, you get more clients, but in order to get more skill, you need to do more. If you do this for a month straight, every day, these are 3,000 reach outs. I am sure you have customers. This is the most important step of them all. If you stop too soon, this will never ever work. I need to stress this. And then one last tip, ask customers if they can recommend you. If people are satisfied with your service, just ask them, hey, do you know somebody that also needs a chatbot? And you can also use this if they ask you for cheaper prices. So if they ask you here, for example, you say, I want to have $1,000. If they ask you, I want to have it for 600. Then you can tell them, okay, this works, but you need to send me another client. If you give me another client, I will make it for you for 600. This is one of the easiest way how you can even get more clients. If they know somebody and if they send this client to you, you can make this cheaper for them. So don't be shy to ask, these are one of the best customers. If one of your customers is satisfied with your service and he tells other people that you are cool, they are most likely willing to buy. And that's the whole playbook. One last time as a summary. Selling your AI agents. You need to find your customer. You need to make a prototype. You need to have a good offer. So marketing and sales tricks are perfect. And then you need a bonus, guarantee, and the right price. You can find customers if you ask everybody that you know. And this is the first thing that you need to do. Then as soon as you have done this, you need to ask everybody that you don't know. And this is an endless list. You can also create content, and every other thing will work better if you do that. And if you have mastered all of this, I am sure you have a strong business. And then you can also eventually start with paid advertising, but just if you know LTV divided by CAC. Then you can find your right customers if you do cold outreach. So here you will find them. You can just Google them. You need to see exactly what they are doing. Just give them a compliment and ask them if they want to save time. And then you need to create a bot if they want to have a call and show them exactly how the bot is helping them. The right price is something between 600 as soon as you start out, but you can go up until 2000 and beyond. And if you can not handle more clients, this is infinity. You can go up however you want. Then bonus and guarantee is important. You should create a chatbot live, like I said, and you can tell them then, hey, we can create this chatbot however you want. This is specifically tailored to you. You will also offer some customer support if they have problems. You give them a 2-week money-back guarantee because it makes mathematical sense. Then some more tips. Please create the chatbot before you go into the presentation, before you go into the call, and show them live. Show them exactly how the agent can save them money. Make the calculation. They have a problem. They don't have enough time. They make a lot of money in an hour. They can save so much money. Then set a high price anchor, and if they want to have a discount, say to them that you will cover the API costs. If they even want to have more of a discount, just ask them, send me a customer and you will get your discount. And then repeat this process until you are bored, until you can do it in your sleep, and then don't stop. Start right now. Start reaching out to 50 to 100 people every single day. Just hit them up. Go first in your handy, use all your mails, all your social media accounts, and write everybody a personalized message. Do 50 to 100 a day. If you do 15 over a month, don't hit me up that you don't get any customers. 50 to 100 every single day. I am 100% sure that you are getting customers, and do it on all platforms. Do it on mails, on Insta, on Facebook, on your phone numbers, on every platform. As soon as this is done, start with cold outreach. Google them and see exactly what they are doing, and then you have an endless list. To make all of this more efficient, you should also create content, and as soon as you have mastered all of this, you can do paid ads. So see you in the next video, because right now you have a lot to do. We have a lot of options to scrape the web. Of course, you can make such automations. This is an automation that I have found in these free templates, and you can scrape for everything. But what I want to show you right now is to scrape leads. And it can be actually really easy. You do not need to make an automation. You can do something that is easier and a lot faster. We do it with a Chrome extension. And I have made this video already in German, and that's why I want to show you the video, but I have dubbed it with AI. So right now, AI Arne is speaking, so that we have a real AI course.
Of course, we can also use special AI tools or software to search for leads. If you enter Mapscapa in the Google Chrome Web Store, you will find this software. This is currently the best software you can actually find. Accordingly, you just click on this symbol and you click up there to add to Chrome. Since I have already added it, it is of course already included for me. Probably not for you. Accordingly, you just click install here now. After that, you can go to your Chrome extensions. For that, you click on settings, extensions, and 99% of the time you'll find the thing here somewhere. It looks exactly like this. maps, scaper, and extract business leads. You need to activate it, and once it is activated, it works. It is now saved under this puzzle piece here at the top. When you click on it, then we have here maps, scaper, and extracts business data. When you click here, your surroundings where you live will automatically open, but you can scout the whole world. You can enter what you are looking for up here. I'll do a silly example now. Fitness Studio Frankfurt, for example. We enter that, and now we are scraping the fitness studios in Frankfurt. You see, it automatically zooms in. We should be somewhere in Germany now. Yes, exactly. We zoom in a bit here, and now we get loads of fitness studios in Frankfurt and their surroundings. Now we just click Start Extraction, and we'll begin exporting all these fitness studios as a list. And you see, we're searching for more and more fitness studios here. It's really going up. We're getting tons of leads incredibly fast, 74, 80 and so on. And when you zoom around on this map, you can also go over here. If, for example, you want to focus more on this position, then the gyms will be searched here as well. As soon as you think you have enough leads for now, you can click stop. Then you go here and you can download it as a CSV file. I like CSV. Occasionally, you can also download it as an Excel list already. Accordingly, you click here, download, and then in your downloads, you have this list as a CSV file. So now I have exactly this list in the CSV files, and you can open it with Excel or whatever. I'm just going to open it with LibreOffice. Maybe someone doesn't have Excel installed on their computer because they haven't paid for the Microsoft stuff. You can also use LibreOffice. It is, of course, completely free. We click on LibreOffice. We click OK. And you see, now we immediately have all the data from the business. What you don't need is the ID number, but what you do need is the name. Here you see all the names of the gyms. You probably don't need the address. You don't need the featured images either. You also don't need the Bing Maps URL. Accordingly, you can organize yourself a bit here. To make this as simple as possible, I'll make the ID list tiny, the name a bit smaller. The address, as we said, we don't need, so very small. We don't need the images either, so very small as well. And those two, we don't need the image URL at all, latitude and so on. So you don't need most things. What I might actually keep an eye on here is the name, the rating. For example, if you only want to sell to studios that have 4.5 or higher, you can find your way around here very quickly. You can also keep the category. They are gyms or kickboxing gyms, depending on whom you want to sell to. You can also keep when they are open, so you know when you can call. You can immediately find their website here if you want to check it out. But the most important thing is, of course, the phone number. Accordingly, you can immediately text or call the phone number. The phone numbers work best here, of course. You might also be able to use the email addresses, though you can see that not all have the email address listed here. But at least we have the mobile number. That's the most important thing of all. Additionally, you may also get Instagram profiles if they have Instagram profiles or Twitter profiles. Most of them, of course, don't have Twitter, but as mentioned, what you really need are the phone numbers. If you want to organize it better, you can also simply copy things separately. You could copy this column and paste it into a new file, just the name and only the phone number, for example. And then you have everything perfectly organized. You have an incredible number of leads with the phone numbers. Congratulations. You can call everyone and do cold calling. In that sense, have fun scraping. Yes, I know scraping is sometimes a bit controversial, but it is data that we can view publicly. Accordingly, people do want to be called. Especially a business wants to be called. If you find data somewhere on Google, of course, there's nothing wrong with just giving a call, even though cold calling is actually not allowed in Germany. It's simply the common practice that most people do. You could, of course, also set up a small automation on WhatsApp so you can message everyone at once. However, you must always consider that automations have the side effect of making you less personal, and as a result, you will reach fewer leads.
In this section, we took a closer look how we can make a business out of AI automations and AI agents. First, you saw what you can sell. Basically, you can sell every automation with every trigger node with everything included. But what works best for me are rec application embedded into web pages, and maybe they should also capture some leads. But generally speaking, you can sell everything. But sometimes it can happen that the customers have to give you access to their Telegram, to their Google console and much more, and a lot of people don't like to do that. Then you saw how such a rec application could look like. We built a simple one. We have connected our Google Drive with Pinecone so that we can insert new data all the time if the client wants to have new updates. And then we simply connected the RecBot and also Google Sheets so that we have an application that works. As soon as we have this application, you saw how we can build a standalone application. It's really easy. You need to make it public and then you can send this link to people. And of course you can also change the text from your standalone application. And next I showed you how you can embed this chatbot into a WordPress or HTML web page. It's relatively easy. Of course, you need to make it public. All of this needs to be hosted. Then you can find in the documentation the code snippets that you can insert into this web page. If you work with WordPress, you need to install a plugin and then you can insert these code snippets. Make sure that you use a branding that matches the web page. And if you embed this in your own web page, it's of course the same thing. And lastly, I showed you how you can structure the perfect offer, how you can get leads, how you can close them, how you can price these applications, how you would structure a guarantee, and much, much more. It's relatively easy, but you have to do a lot in order to get a lot. And what I want to tell you right now is, of course, that you know what learning is. Learning is same circumstances but different behavior. Until now, maybe you did not know how you can make a business out of these, or maybe you did not know how you can integrate this in your own web page. Right now you know it, and you have only learned if you do that. So please, try yourself a little bit out. Maybe you can sell something. It would be really, really nice, and only then you have learned. And I want to tell you what good learners do. Of course, they learn together. And we could reach this by you sharing this course with a friend of you. And if the friend gets value out from this course, they will describe the value to you because you have told them, and we have a win-win-win situation. Your friend can learn, I reach more people, and your status rises. Thank you for that, and I see you of course in the next section, because in the next section I want to show you how we can make these rec applications even better, because we only get good applications if we get good data. The rec application is powerful, vector databases are powerful, but only if we give good data, and that's what I want to show you in the next section.